Okay, so now next question is curriculum and instruction. How was curriculum selected? And here's where you can reference the success that we've seen in our other schools. So classical ed is very unique and it's very successful around the country. And the selection of curriculum had a lot to do with the prior successes and the novels that we selected, the thematic units that we're doing all have to kind of line in together. And there's a lot of effort and work that went into that. We, of course, reviewed Florida standards and made sure that everything is lined in. And there's things called exit tickets for your teachers and goals and standards. And we require that on the board every morning they have objective of where they're going and an exit of what will be learned by end of that lesson. All that is lined through a very sophisticated mapping program. So, for instance, here's our 40,000 foot view of what a sixth grader is going to look like, what they're going to be reading in literature for 2 months, what they're going to be covering, all the novels. Then we talk about recitations and poems and novel, and that will actually be done up front. And then we have add-on units, which are ability for a teacher to read King Arthur and jump over and add on some informational text and some other pieces for compare contrast. And all that's laid out inside of the curriculum program. Then you have your histories, and we every month you're moving through a couple hundred years of time frame you can see. So December you're in England after the conquest and the samurais, and you're reading Samurai's Tale, which is basically the Mulan story. So all very strategically put together. And then the teacher has the ability to jump into the history units or English units and pull great men and women of history. What was the economic system of that time? What was the politics or the religion? So there's a lot of a la carte things that the teacher can overlay on top of all this stuff. Then journaling is happening, lots of writing, and we're just giving them some opportunities. This particular year, which is sixth grade, kids are doing the earth sciences, so you can see what those units look like. And then they're covering the famous scientists from history in that earth unit program. So again, we're going back to this history thing over and over and over. It's the thematic unit that we're in. In some states, there's testing years. So if it's a testing year, then we're going to look at our science a little differently because we spend a whole year in a topic. So we do a year of chemistry, year of physics, year of earth sciences, and a year of biology. But most public schools bounce all over the place within a year into those 4 topics. So if it's a testing year in Florida, then we're going to go ahead and focus a little differently and weave in some prep so that we know what that test is going to look like. And then here's finally the artist and the composer. We spend a whole semester on an artist composer. This is covered in the classroom and in the art class. And then at the end, there's your values and virtues. Again, if you're reading the Mulan story, and the value and virtue is resolution, and it's a story of a young woman that wants to be a samurai in a time when that's not allowed. Well, you can really have a lot of discussions on what that resolution looks like and what it looks like in action. So that's the 40,000 foot view. And then when you jump into our curriculum, this is what's delivered to the teacher at the moment that they need it. So if you jump into sixth grade, you're in the Middle Ages, and then every unit is broken down. So here we are, Explorers, Enlightenment, Magna Carta, Norsemen, China. There we go. Feudal Japan and China. So that at the fingertip of that teacher is all these resources from textbooks, informational texts, how to go to geography, all kinds of stuff for them to build their unit and to help them achieve what they're looking to do. So basically, you'd say there's Ethos Logos has done this before, and we're bringing in a lot of resources, but the site principal has tremendous opportunity and flexibility to tailor to Florida, tailor to their particular community, and get more nuanced in those discussions. And that will kind of help you answer that question.